Seimas.
And I'm Andrew Matheson for double coverage, our playoff round one preview edition, breaking down all of 2 games this week. So that's all of 2 teams that made it from the county into the postseason. SoCal was left on the outside, unfortunately.
As was Monte Vista Christian.
As was every other
Everyone
team.
else, but those two are close,
except for Scotts Valley and SoCal. Scotts Valley and Aptos, excuse me. And let's get right into it?
Sure.
Anything else? Okay.
Yeah.
D4 we're going to start.
This is not D4. Carmel is open division, aren't they? They're 10-0.
Negative.
What?
They're a C-League.
Oh my God. Well, they've beat 4 playoff opponents this year.
C-League, you're supposed to overlook C-League teams for the most part.
Wow.
Carmel is not that team, though.
This team is as good as any.
Yeah.
They
beat Palma.
Yeah, they beat Palma. They beat North Salinas. They beat Christopher. They beat Pacific Grove. 4 playoff opponents right there.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the C-League means nothing for this team. 10-0. They are the 3 seed. They are going to be technically hosting the game, I guess, but it's going to be at Pacific Grove, 7 p.m. on Friday night. Scotts Valley, of course, the number 6 seed, going 8-2 on the regular season.
Yeah, how's Carmel not the number 1 seed? They're number 3.
Yeah, well, you got the private team, up top. That's obvious, and it's all based on PowerPoint, so they're not getting much from the C-League. Playing in the Mission Trail Athletic League despite winning it.
I don't have the exact score written in front of me. There's only so many stats that I can bore our viewers with.
Sure.
But Scotts Valley is 2-1 lifetime in the postseason against Carmel. They played each other 3 times. It's all in postseason.
Good to know.
Yeah, 2-1. But the last meeting, Carmel won like 60-28.
Yeah.
And that was the year they won CCS in, I think, 2009.
Okay.
But Scotts Valley's been solid over the years.
Yeah.
And to do that to Scotts Valley is really saying something. You know?
It's impressive. Yeah. And they're going to be running the little zone spread. They still can route the score.
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah, 40 points last week against Pacific Grove, 48 the week before, 56, 62. They're gonna put some points up.
That sounds like they're averaging 47 points a game.
Is that what it sounds like?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Good math.
Yeah, 20 points allowed on defense.
Wow.
So, yeah, they are just killing it. Running back Holden Smith has rushed for 1,100 yards, essentially, with 19 touchdowns.
Essentially, he did run for 1,100 yards.
Oh, yeah, he did. They have a dual-threat quarterback, Connor Martin,
Yep.
has passed for 2,100 yards.
And he's second on the team in rushing with 815 yards. So
13 rushing touchdowns.
They're going to spread him out to run the ball pretty much, but he can also throw the ball. Obviously, he's thrown for 2,200 yards.
You're a big South County or Monterey County football connoisseur.
I love it down there.
William Kehoe? Was he a Stevenson school guy? Or was he always at Carmel? I don't know, but he's their top receiver there, has 750 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. They have weapons everywhere.
Way to put me on the spot.
Sorry. Yeah. And they're not, it's a small enrollment school, but they still have a couple 270-pounders there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying...
No, well-coached. Gold Anderson has turned that program around from when he's started a couple of years ago, and they've been near the MTEL top for the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean,
Scotts Valley's going to have their hands full.
Without a doubt.
No doubt, yeah. They're going to have to really use their 2 big guys, Renberg and Willie Johnson, to kind of control the clock a little bit.
Definitely
keep the ball out of Carmel's hands.
What do you think they're doing? Right now we're filming midweek, and it's raining, and Louis Walters is loving it probably, hoping that the Pacific Grove stays soaked.
Sure.
It's a grass surface, or do they get the synthetic turf down there?
I think they got a turf down
Darn
there.
it. Well,
but it's at PG.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, PG has the turf. Right?
Oh, you want it to be grass.
Yeah,
just so the ball gets
you'd
wet.
rather it be natural grass.
Because one of the strengths of Carmel is passing. So
Sure.
they run the ball, but they can pass.
No, yeah, they're and they can put up points. I mean, yeah. So Renberg, Johnston, clock control.
Yes, they need that.
Stretch the field with Tarowski, with Lobo a little bit.
No turnovers.
But no turnovers. It's going to have to be a pretty sound game.
Yeah. Win field position, good special teams, kickoff, punt return.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough one. I'm going with Carmel.
Ugh. Way to not be a homer. No, I'm going to go with Carmel too. I think they are favored, obviously.
Yes, they are.
They are going to be playing near home. And despite that C-League next to their name, that means 0. I'm going to like the Padres as well. Second and final game on the schedule, the Aptos Mariners, the number 2 seed in Division III, hosting a game. Good for them.
Nice.
7 p.m. Friday night against number 7 Aragon, 7-3. Probably one of those games that could be overlooked going by the comparative scoring method that we love to do. Of course, Aptos beat Scotts Valley 49-0.
Okay.
And of course, Scotts Valley beat Aragon 28-19 earlier this season.
Scotts Valley on the road, a day game, had some turnovers. Aragon did. So.
Sure, no, but I mean there is that. But obviously, Aragon's not a team that you can overlook.
No, not at all.
Especially as a first-round opponent, they're pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, they got a great quarterback, and last year he passed a ton. But this year, they've been running the fly offense for years. But I mean, and making the playoffs for years under Coach Steve Sell. But I mean, they're a really gifted team. They have a thunder and lightning combination as well, like Scotts Valley does. But Aptos has a little of everything.
Tell me about the Thunder. Patrick Pawnee, is that what we're going with?
No, I'm going to go with Keith Samuja.
Patrick Pawnee is the Lightning?
No, he's a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay.
He's just a hurricane.
Mr. Samuja, how big are we going there?
Samuja isn't very big. He's a quick guy. Almost all these guys on this team do track and field.
Yeah.
But Patrick Pawnee is, I don't know how tall he is. He's 255 pounds.
I got that, yeah.
A CCS shot put discus guy.
Yeah.
I just think he chucks kids out of the way.
Ran for 106 yards against Scotts Valley this season on 17 carries and a touchdown.
Yeah, last week in the every team has their rivalry game. Last week they were playing in the Battle of the Fleas.
Like dog fleas?
Yeah. Against Hillsdale, and they won that game. They squeaked by. They had a bunch of big plays. Pawnee rushed for 191 yards on 15 carries.
I don't even care about this game anymore.
I know exactly. I will tell you why.
What is the Fleas?
History, Cliff Clavin tidbit of the day. Alameda de Pulgas. That's the street over there. Alameda de Pulgas.
Beautiful street.
It is. They both live, or their school resides on it, on opposite sides. Pulgas in Spanish apparently means fleas, and the name stuck.
Look at that.
The Battle of the Fleas.
You watch double coverage, you learn something every day.
Something that is worth a good piece of trivia.
You learn something once a season.
Yes. That was it. Don't expect anything else. Yeah. We're going to give you some other meaningless knowledge. Aptos, we know this year has been killing it. 42.8 points a game on offense. Scored 40 points 6 times, or plus 40 or more 6 times. Led by Miles Bodwin in the backfield. But really, anyone can do it, right? They've had 15 carriers a game.
Name one other running back out of their 15. Yeah, anyone can lead.
It's funny. Randy said earlier this week, he's like, my starters haven't played a full game in like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I hope they're in shape and game shape and ready. They're fine. Alex Joe doing a great job, senior year quarterback.
Yep. And
Brooks Nicholson killing it with the PATs and touchdown receptions.
Yep.
So Aptos is a machine. I have the utmost confidence that they're going to get it done and beat a team that Scotts Valley beat.
Yeah, and I think we don't want to look at the whole comparative scoring thing, but I think the stat to take away from that Scotts Valley game against Aragon was that Scotts Valley ran the ball for 337 yards against Aragon. And what does Aptos like to do? They like to run the ball.
Though, you know what's weird though? Against Hillsdale, Aragon,
Battle of the Fleas?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to make a weird noise for that. There's no flea noise. Hillsdale had just passed at will. It gave him some Aragon some fits.
There you go.
So I'm like, is Aptos going to come out passing?
Maybe.
Who knows?
They did try and stretch the field a little bit last week. Try to do some different things against SLV.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Joe was like 3 for 5. So they didn't necessarily go to town with the passing game, but he only did play for the first quarter, more or less, and he didn't play. So I mean, they got 5 pass attempts in that first quarter, which is like unheard of for Aptos. But so maybe they will try and do some things against Aragon.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, because other teams are going to be scouting them.
But then again, they do run the ball pretty well.
Yeah,
so I would expect to stick with their bread and butter for the most part. Yeah,
the bread and butter. Throwing a little PB&J, and Aptos is a big winner, I hope.
So you're going with Aptos?
I am going with Aptos.
I'm going with Aptos, too.
As you may know, throughout the season, Andrew and I have an affinity for pointing out awesome names.
And endless statistics.
That's true. As you may know, we like to bore you to death. And so that's more, you understand there. Nat Blood is the name and a half.
Or is it Nate Blood?
It's Nat. It's Nathaniel, but he goes by Nat Blood
for
Aragon. He's our quarterback, 6'2", 175 pounds.
I call him Nate. You call him Nat.
Yeah, potato. Potato.
Sure.
Speaking of quarterbacks.
We were talking about records last week.
Yeah.
And, part of an unscripted show, we tend to leave out quite a bit. And we had every intention of talking about Harbor's Milo Small We ended up talking about Jake Renberg almost extensively. But Milo Small setting the single-season passing record at Harbor last week in his final regular season game. Record now stands at 2,060 yards. Kudos to Milo, and kudos to all his receivers and his running backs that were able to catch balls. Cody Sullivan, Matheson, Pablo Correa, Jaden Tallman. It's a team effort.
Nice. Team effort.
Team effort. 19 TDs, 149 of 303. About 50%. So
awesome. Congrats on a great season.
Big numbers for Mr. Small. So good to him. That does it for this week's show, though. Yep. And we should have full recap coverage in this upcoming weekend show. We'll recap both playoff games, Aptos and Scotts Valleys. You can follow us online.
And on Twitter down there.
On Twitter. On Tout.
Tout.com.
Like us on Facebook.
Please.
Or you can also go to Facebook, because I catch my breath there.
Sure.
Go to Facebook. You can ask us questions. We're going to be doing a little Q&A thing, hopefully later on, once everything is complete and we get to around, I don't know, all county stuff.
Yeah, if you have any questions on the year on why didn't we cover so-and-so, who's going to hopefully play in college and how things are looking, whatever.
How does SLV bounce back?
Yeah, exactly. Ask us anything.
Yeah. We probably won't have an answer, but we'll give you one.
We'll say it got lost in the email.
Okay.
All right.
Check us out online as well. All our stories are there at www.santacruzsentinel.com
/football. Baby. We got to beat everybody.
All right.